Hello and welcome back to New World. So yes, I've put in about 24 hours into Starfield. As you know, as Starfield has been ramping up, ready to launch, I've been the one person that's been on the forefront saying, hey, this game is going to be amazing. This game is going to be game of the year. Do not listen to any of the haters. Enjoy this game. But I have something to say. The game did meet my expectations, but my expectations did come at a cost. And I'm going to talk about that in today's video. So if you like the content that I put out, please like, comment, and subscribe. It is very much needed. I want this channel to be a lifelong lasting channel, and I want to make content for you guys for a long time. So let's just go ahead and get into this because I have a lot to talk about. Now, Starfield is Bethesda's space RPG. Yes, it is a space RPG made by Bethesda. It is not a space exploration game, and I'm going to explain this to you right now. A lot of people go into the game expecting that it's supposed to be a space exploration. As soon as you get done with the introduction, off to space you go, which you can do, but this does not captivate the feeling that the game has when you play the main quest first. Luckily, that wasn't the case with me, as I watched reviews before I played Starfield, and they kind of all said relatively around the same thing. This does not start off like Fallout 4. This does not start off like Skyrim. This does not start off like any other Bethesda game. This game is played entirely different than any other Bethesda game out. And once you think about that and you play it the way that the game intends to, it opens up a worldwide of possibilities of how you look at this game. You want to be a space explorer, but the space explorers is constellation. You don't meet them, you avoid them, then you start understanding, okay, I'm just here in this universe because my God, the game is huge. This is the first Bethesda title where I honestly felt like I wasn't the main character. I was just this person that was found in the mining system that had to go explore space with Constellation to help Constellation do what they needed to do to fulfill their dreams of exploration. I'm just a miner from Argo's extractors going to go mine something for Constellation. I just so happen to touch it and have one of these visions that now Constellation wants to look into, and I have to help them understand basically what all this means. So yes, the game is about you, but it's also about you doing something for Constellation so they can put it out for the rest of the world to know this is what all of this means. I just so happen to be the person helping. If you catch my drift, then you start to understand, okay, this is why you play the main quest. Once you play the main quest, then everything opens up for you. You go to each planet, you understand the lore of each planet, they talk you through it. It's not like a tutorial, it's all set inside of the story. You gradually understand about the universe, and then you can go and play and enjoy the things on your own time. Once you get that, then that's when the game starts making sense. Now that you've played the main quest a little bit and you're starting to understand the flow of the game, now it's time to talk about the good things about I think that Starfield did to hold up my expectations. The overall feeling of Starfield is unlike any other game I've ever played before. Red Dead Redemption did a great job at it. Skyrim did a great job at it. Fallout New Vegas for me did an amazing job at it. But Starfield feels like a universe. It does not feel like a Bethesda RPG. It has its elements, but ultimately it feels like an entirely new experience. What really made me realize this was the kid stuff trait. The kid stuff traits introduces your parents, and your parents actually play a role in your life. You pay them 2% of the income that you make, but you also get to talk to them and go inside their home and sleep there and talk to them. And sometimes when you're out exploring, you might run into them again. They play a huge role in just the immersion of the game, which made me realize this game feels different. When you walk inside of a building, it's different than Skyrim and Fallout 4. The interiors really feel like somebody lives there. The ships really feel like something happened on the ship, or somebody stays there, or somebody's doing this, or someone's doing that. Inside of the bars and inside of the apartments, it actually feels that way. It feels like I am not the only person that lives in this universe. I am not the dragonborn. Everything is not centered towards me. I'm just a part of this huge universe, and I'm just one person doing things for other people. That is genuinely what it feels like. Not necessarily a task. It more so just feels like a world. You can purchase different homes. It's a lot easier. You don't have to do a lot of quests in order to unlock a home. No, you could go and talk to somebody inside of the apartment and buy the apartment. It's literally that simple. The graphics in this game look amazing. And I know a lot of people have two different opinions. It either A, the lighting looks good but the graphics suck, or B, overall the game just looks old and outdated. I'm going to disagree with the old and outdated because the lighting really captivates how great the game looks. Red Dead Redemption looked amazing, but you could not go over the fact of the clay faces in Red Dead Redemption. But the lighting served its justice. The same thing with Starfield. The NPCs look very, very good once you talk to them and the lighting hits their face and everything looks good. When you walk on your spaceship, the lighting in your spaceship really captivates the feeling of, I am in this ship and I'm going to take it with me. I could live here, I could sleep here, I could stay in space. When I land, I can go somewhere, and let's say, perfect instance, Mars going into Sidonia, how deserted everything looks and how brown it looks. But then when you go to Neon, it's an entirely different look and an entirely different feeling. The game looks amazing, and it does captivate characteristic wise what a world or what an environment should look like. The same exact thing with space. Space just feels huge. You have to grab jump everywhere, because if you don't, it's going to take you literal hours, which goes to show in scale this game is unlike anything we've ever seen before. The voice acting is amazing. I love that it doesn't feel very robotic. It's a lot of different voice characters. Everybody is very immersed in the game. It feels real. People have real opinions. Your companions actually talk to you as you're walking, or they'll talk to you in between dialogue. It really does feel like an amazing game. But honestly, what's missing? I'm going to get into that now. When I first launched Starfield and I first played Starfield and I played it for about 30 minutes, automatically, I don't know what happened. I don't know if I picked up a weapon or anything of that nature. My gun did not work. Not only my gun, every gun that I picked up would not shoot, which made me restart my game. I had to make an entirely different character, and I had to go in and do the whole introductory scene again just to get back to where I was, which completely threw off the immersion. I recently bought a 4090 just for Starfield and to play other games at 4K, but there's an issue. The game is locked at 60 FPS. I have a 60 FPS monitor. I like playing 4K 60. I have no problem with that. But the game has this weird and odd thing where it does small little lag spikes. I think personally it's a VSync issue, but as you turn, you can feel the game jitter a little bit. It says it's in 60 FPS lock, but it does not feel that way. I don't know if that is a universal problem. I've looked it up, but it doesn't happen in any other game that I play. So off of those two things alone, my experience was very wishy-washy. I got irritated sometimes. I just felt like I hyped this game up so much and they said it's not buggy and things are working, but it doesn't seem like it because I'm having a terrible time in the introduction. I had to reset my character. The performance is off, but I said, you know what? I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to deal with it. I'm just going to play the game and restart my computer and just play the game and just see what happens. Overall, I got used to it. The game flowed pretty decently throughout my whole entire playthrough, and I was able to play the game. But I cannot ignore the lag spikes. I cannot ignore the gun problem. It's those two just things I cannot ignore. I had to make an entirely different character in order to get the feeling that I wanted, and it completely threw it off in the introductory of the game, which goes to show my first initial character is now just there, and I had to make basically a plan B, which is perfectly fine. I got to play the game, but it's just those little things that matter the most, especially when this game has such high ambitions and a 10-month delay. Another issue that I want to address is the game, honestly, in New Atlantis. I love how the world feels. I love how everything looks and everything performs, but it reminds me a lot of NBA 2K The City. There are a lot of dull NPCs. The game is huge and you have to walk a very long time to get to where you want to go. So much so, I had to turn on God mode so I could use my jetpack unlimited so I can go to the places that I wanted to go a little faster. I should not have to resort to console commands to get from point A to point B. Now, granted, they do have a train system in this game, which is cool, but once you go to the place that you want to go off the train, you still have to walk there, and it does take a little while to get to where you're going. But immersive wise, I get it. It really sticks you in the game. It makes you feel like you're just in this world, but some things just could be fixed, or some things could move a little faster, not to rush, but to be able to just go somewhere and actually feel it. But the NPC problem is what got me the most. Skyrim did a perfect job of having a good amount of NPCs, but each NPC held a significant part in the world in general. You could tell it's only a certain amount of NPCs that talk to each other that's in the computer system. Every other NPC is just there walking back and forth. Now, I love the art style. I love the fact that the NPCs look like the actual main characters of the game as well, so everything looks uniform, but sometimes it's off, and then also sometimes you can get actually very confused on if you want to find a side quest, what NPC is the side quest NPC. That goes to show the game is huge and the NPCs look very good and everybody looks uniform. I get that, but sometimes you just want to walk into somebody and somebody pulls you and says, hey, can you do this for me? It's very interesting, but I understand, I get it, but I do not like how dull the rest of the NPCs are. Feels very robotic. It doesn't have really like a relate factor to it. I love a Baldur's Gate, even if you touched a random NPC, you got that cinematic camera, they talk to you and went on about their day. So did Starfield hold up to my expectations? I would say yes. I think that the game did an amazing job at captivating the feeling. The graphics look very good. The story was very, very good. I love the feeling that the game gave me. I love it looks and feels very good, but it's just some things that I could not ignore, and some things that I know hands down it's not going to win game of the year, but it's going to be a game that we play for years and years and years to come. I can't wait to see what the modding community does for such a large scale game. I can't wait to see the differences, because I re-downloaded Skyrim myself and did my whole entire mod list, and it showed me that wow, the modding community completely changed how this game looks. So I can only be excited for Starfield. I cannot wait. I'm going to go back in the game now and just enjoy it for what I have left. Do the side quest now that I've completed the main story, and just relax and play the game. But if you are skeptical about Starfield, I say give it a try. I say yes, it's worth the money, but the game needs serious patches. It needs help. Some things need help, but I love the game. I love the exploration aspect. I love how large and vast that the game feels. It just feels like I'm not the only person here, and I love that feeling, especially in an RPG game.